My mother-in-law didn't realize my smart TV was streaming when I left for the gym. And what she told my kids about getting rid of mommy made me file for emergency custody. Hello my people. Don't forget to hit subscribe, say hi below and share your location. We love seeing our family from all over the world. Let's get into the story. I never imagined my Tuesday morning would shatter everything I believed about my family. My name is Janelle and for 6 years I thought I had the perfect marriage to Marcus. That morning started like any other. Kissing my babies 5-year-old Amara and 3-year-old Caleb, before heading to my 6 a.m. spin class. Marcus's mother, Dorothy, had been staying with us for 2 weeks. Just until we find her a new place, Marcus insisted after her apartment building went up for sale. I swallowed my discomfort. Dorothy never liked me, not since Marcus brought home a dark-skinned girl instead of the light-skinned professional she'd picked out for him at church. I grabbed my gym bag, activated my fitness app and left. What I didn't realize was that my smart TV, the one we'd just installed in the living room, was still connected to my phone's streaming app. I'd been showing Amara videos the night before and never disconnected. 15 minutes into my workout my phone buzzed. My best friend Shanice sent a screenshot. "Girl, why is your TV streaming to Facebook Live?" My heart dropped. The thumbnail showed Dorothy sitting on my couch with my children. I fumbled with my phone, hands shaking, and opened the stream. Dorothy's voice came through crystal clear. "Listen to Grandma, babies. Mommy isn't who you think she is." Caleb's little voice asked, "Where Mommy go?" Dorothy smiled, cold and calculated. "That's what Grandma needs to talk to you about. We're going to get rid of Mommy soon." I stopped pedaling. Everything stopped. My fingers trembled as I screen recorded the stream. Dorothy continued, her voice sickeningly sweet as she pulled my babies closer on the couch. "Your daddy doesn't love Mommy anymore. Grandma found him a new, better mommy. A prettier mommy who goes to our church." Amara's voice cracked. "But I love my mommy." "Oh, sweetheart," Dorothy cooed, stroking Amara's braids, the ones I'd spent 2 hours doing Sunday night. "This new mommy will love you better. She'll teach you proper things. She knows how to cook real food, not that health nonsense your mama makes." I wanted to scream. Other gym members glanced at me as I gathered my things, still recording. Dorothy was poisoning my children against me and she had no idea the world was watching. "Is Mommy going away like Goldie?" Caleb asked, referencing our dog who'd died last year. My 3-year-old thought I was dying. Dorothy laughed, actually laughed. "Something like that, baby. But don't be sad. Daddy's new friend Vanessa is so excited to meet you. She's been talking to Daddy every night." Vanessa. A name. I had a name. My recording showed 847 viewers now. The comments flooded in, strangers witnessing my mother-in-law's betrayal. "Call the police," someone wrote. "Get a lawyer now," urged another. I was already in my car, breaking every speed limit. My phone rang. Shanice. "Janelle, don't go in there angry. Record everything. We need evidence." But I wasn't angry yet. I was devastated. The woman I'd cooked for, cleaned for, and welcomed into my home was orchestrating my replacement. I burst through my front door at 6:47 a.m. Dorothy jumped, guilt flashing across her face before morphing into defiance. Amara ran to me, tears streaming. "Mommy, Grandma said you're leaving us." I scooped up both children, my heart shattering as Caleb buried his face in my neck. "Babies, Mommy's not going anywhere. Grandma made a mistake." I stared at Dorothy over their heads. "A big mistake." Dorothy stood, smoothing her church dress. "Janelle, you're being dramatic. I was just what? Telling my children I'm being replaced? That Marcus has someone named Vanessa waiting in the wings." My voice stayed steady despite my rage. "Where is my husband, Dorothy?" "He's at work, where he should be. Supporting this family since you barely contribute with that little part-time job of yours." Her contempt dripped like poison. "I worked 30 hours weekly as a pediatric nurse while raising 2 children under 6. Get out of my house. This is my son's house. That I'm on the deed for. Get out." I pulled out my phone, showing her the Facebook Live that now had over 2,000 viewers. "And Dorothy?" This entire conversation was streamed. Everyone heard what you told my babies. Her face went ashen. She grabbed for my phone but I stepped back. Don't touch me. I have witnesses now. 2,000 of them. The comments exploded. Sue her. Call CPS. Protect those babies. Dorothy's mask slipped completely. You manipulative little. Marcus will never believe you over me. I'm his mother. We'll see. After Dorothy left, calling me every name she could think of, I settled my traumatized children with their favorite cartoons. Then I did what I should have done months ago. I looked through Marcus's phone records. Our cell plan was in my name. I pulled up the bill online. 347 calls to one number in the past 2 months. Late night calls. Lunch hour calls. Calls made at 2 a.m. when he claimed he was working late. I reverse searched the number. Vanessa Richardson. Her Facebook profile was public. A beautiful woman with caramel skin and Dorothy's church listed as her workplace. She was the secretary. Of course she was. My hands shook as I scrolled through her photos. There, 6 weeks ago, a picture of Marcus's watch on someone's dashboard. The distinctive leather band I'd bought him for Christmas. Caption, Good morning drives hit different. 47 likes including one from Dorothy. They weren't even hiding it well. I screenshotted everything. Every call. Every photo. Every comment from Dorothy praising, such a godly woman on Vanessa's posts. Then I found the mother lode. A private message Dorothy had sent Vanessa that Vanessa accidentally posted publicly last week. Marcus is finally seeing the light. The divorce should be quick since she works so little. You'll be moved in by summer. Divorce. They were planning my divorce. I called my sister, Teresa, a family law attorney 2 states over. I need help. Marcus is cheating. His mother tried to poison my kids against me and I have everything on video. Send me everything. Don't delete that Facebook Live. We're filing for emergency custody today. Sitting in my kitchen, I remembered the signs I'd ignored. 6 months ago, Marcus started working late 3 nights a week. He joined Dorothy's church, the one where light skin and certain last names mattered more than faith. He criticized my natural hair, my cooking, my aggressive workplace stories about advocating for my young patients. Why can't you be softer? He'd asked last month. Like the women at church? I'd laughed it off. I was raising his children, working, maintaining our home. What more did soft look like? Then there was the night 2 months ago. I'd found Dorothy showing Amara pictures of Vanessa. Doesn't she look like a princess, baby? When I questioned it, Marcus defended her. Mama's just showing her church friends. Don't be insecure. Insecure. He'd called me insecure for noticing his mother parading his mistress to our daughter. The counseling session I'd begged for last Christmas. Marcus refused, saying, "We don't air our business to strangers." But apparently, airing our business to his mother and his mistress was acceptable. I thought of my grandmother, who raised 4 children after my grandfather left her for a lighter-skinned woman. She'd warned me about colorism within our own community, how some black men still carried their ancestors' trauma, equating lightness with worthiness. "Baby girl," she'd said at my wedding, gripping my hand tight, "make sure he loves all of you. The darkness of your skin, the kink of your hair, the strength of your voice. If he wants you quiet and dimmed down, he doesn't want you at all." I'd assured her Marcus was different. I was wrong. Teresa arrived by noon with her colleague, David, a custody specialist. We sat at my dining table, the one I'd refinished myself, and built my case. "The Facebook Live is gold," David said, watching the recording for the 3rd time. "Parental alienation is serious. Combined with Marcus's infidelity and his mother's access to the children, we have grounds for emergency custody." "What about Marcus's rights?" I asked, hating how my voice shook. "He's still their father," Teresa explained gently. "But supervised visitation until we sort this out. Dorothy cannot be present during his time with the kids. That's non-negotiable." We filed paperwork at 2 p.m. By 4 p.m., Marcus was served at his job. He called 17 times. I ignored everyone. At 5:30 he came home. I'd expected anger. Instead he looked terrified. "Janelle, please. We need to talk. This is insane. Emergency custody? I'm their father. You're also a cheater planning my replacement while your mother traumatized our children. I stood firm in our doorway, Teresa behind me as witness. It's not what you think. Vanessa and I are just friends. 347 phone calls say otherwise. Late night drives say otherwise. Your mother telling our babies they're getting a new, better mommy says otherwise. I thrust my phone at him, showing Vanessa's posts. His face crumbled. Mama said what to the kids? Everything's in the court filing. You'll get supervised visitation pending the hearing. Dorothy is banned from contact with Amara and Caleb. You can't keep my mother from her grandchildren. Watch me. The Facebook Live had gone viral. By Wednesday morning, over 50,000 people had watched Dorothy poison my children's minds. The comments section became a support group. User Black Mama Strong wrote, "This happened to my sister. Mother-in-law tried to erase her from her own kids' lives. Stay strong, sis." Another commenter, Attorney Advice, posted, "Document everything. This is textbook parental alienation. You're doing the right thing." But not everyone supported me. Dorothy's church friends flooded my personal page. Jezebel, one woman called me, keeping a man from his mother. Another wrote, "Maybe if you were more submissive he wouldn't stray." The respectability politics of it all made me sick. Then my phone rang, a local news station. "Miss Janelle? We'd like to interview you about parental alienation in the Black community. This is a conversation we need to have." I declined. This wasn't about publicity. This was about protecting my babies. But Shanice had other ideas. "Go tell your story. How many Black women stay silent while their in-laws destroy them? How many accept disrespect because we're taught to hold families together at any cost?" He was right. That afternoon I called the station back. The interview aired Friday. I spoke about colorism, about women who tear down other women, about the myth of the submissive wife. I showed Amara's therapy intake forms. My 5-year-old now had nightmares about me disappearing. The response was overwhelming. Women shared their stories. A hotline received hundreds of calls about in-law abuse. Marcus watched from his mother's house where he'd moved. He called once. "You've made us a spectacle." "No, Marcus. Your mother did that. You just helped." The emergency custody hearing was brutal. Marcus's attorney painted me as vindictive, using my social media posts as evidence of emotional instability. Ms. Janelle posted 47 times in 3 days about this incident, his lawyer argued. This speaks to someone who is unhinged. Teresa stood. Or someone processing trauma publicly after her husband's infidelity and his mother's psychological abuse of her children. The Facebook Live wasn't posted by my client. It was an accidental stream that Dorothy herself created by speaking maliciously in front of an active camera. The judge, a Black woman in her 60s, watched the full 10-minute recording. Her expression never changed, but I saw her hand clench when Dorothy laughed about me, going away like Goldie. "Mrs. Dorothy Richardson," Judge Williams said, "you are hereby prohibited from unsupervised contact with Amara and Caleb pending further evaluation. Your statements constitute clear parental alienation." Dorothy gasped. Marcus grabbed her arm as she started to stand. "Mr. Marcus Richardson, supervised visitation only. You will undergo co-parenting counseling and individual therapy. Furthermore, Vanessa Richardson," the judge glanced at papers before her, "is not to be present during any visitation periods." "Your Honor," Marcus's attorney objected, "Vanessa Richardson isn't party to this case." "She is now. Records show she's been involved in planning the dissolution of this marriage while Mr. Richardson was still cohabiting with his wife. She represents an unstable element." I felt Teresa squeeze my hand. We were winning. But Marcus's face had transformed from scared to furious. That's when I realized I'd never actually seen my husband angry before. And it terrified me. 3 days after the hearing, Marcus violated the custody order. He picked up Amara from kindergarten claiming emergency. Dorothy was supposedly in the hospital. She wasn't. They took my daughter to Vanessa's apartment. School called me at 2:47 p.m. Miss Janelle, we're so sorry. He's on the approved list, we didn't know. I called 911 while sprinting to my car. My husband violated a custody order and has my 5-year-old. The police found them within an hour. Amara was sitting on Vanessa's couch, Dorothy braiding her hair while Marcus watched football. Like a happy family. Like I didn't exist. She needs to know Vanessa, Marcus told the officers. This is ridiculous, she's going to be her stepmother. You're still married, Officer Jenkins said, returning Amara to me. And you violated a court order. That's contempt, Mr. Richardson. Amara sobbed the entire drive home. Grandma said you're trying to keep Daddy away. She said you're mean and lying. My baby. My sweet girl who used to think I hung the moon. Baby, Daddy broke a rule. A judge, like a teacher but for grown-ups, said Daddy could only see you at special times. He broke that rule. But why? How do you explain to a 5-year-old that her father chose his mistress over following the law? That her grandmother's love came with conditions I couldn't meet? That night, I held Amara until she fell asleep, her little fist clutching my shirt. Caleb slept in my bed too, afraid I'd go away if he couldn't see me. Marcus was charged with custodial interference. His lawyer called it a misunderstanding. The judge called it 7 days in jail. While Marcus served his sentence, Dorothy showed her true colors. She created a GoFundMe titled, "Help Marcus Fight False Allegations." The description painted me as a vengeful wife who weaponized children. He raised $18,000 in 3 days. She used the money to hire a private investigator. He followed me everywhere. The grocery store, the park with my kids, even my therapy appointments. I'd wave at him, making sure he got clear shots of me being a good mother. Then came the packages. Someone sent CPS an anonymous report claiming I left my children unsupervised and used drugs. The caseworker arrived unannounced, finding my spotless home, well-fed children, and zero evidence of neglect. Between you and me, the caseworker, an older black woman named Mrs. Patterson, whispered, we get these calls during custody battles. Document everything. The same day, my nursing supervisor called me in. Janelle, someone filed a complaint with the state board. They're claiming you were intoxicated at work. I'd never had a single drink in my life. It's false, my supervisor continued. We have surveillance proving it. But you need to know, someone's trying to destroy your career. That night, Shanice found the smoking gun. Dorothy had posted in a closed Facebook group. How do I get CPS to take my grandchildren from their unfit mother? She's keeping them from their father and poisoning them against our family. Dozens of women responded with tactics. Fake drug reports, job complaints, character assassination. Dorothy had been following their playbook. I sat on my bathroom floor and cried for the first time since this started. Not from sadness, from pure rage. I wish you could do that. Remember, reader? This is it. Teresa filed for a restraining order against Dorothy. We presented the Facebook group messages, the PI surveillance footage, the false CPS report. All of it. Your Honor, Teresa argued, Mrs. Richardson is engaged in a systematic campaign of harassment designed to break my client emotionally and professionally. This goes beyond parental alienation. This is abuse. Judge Williams agreed. Dorothy was ordered to stay 300 feet from me, my children, my workplace, and my home. She was also required to pay my legal fees, $23,000. Dorothy's face in that courtroom is seared in my memory. Pure hatred. She pointed at me and mouthed, "This isn't over." But it was. That same week, Marcus's employer, a family-owned business owned by upstanding church members, learned about his affair and misconduct. He was fired. Vanessa posted a long rant about me ruining their happiness. The comments destroyed her. Former friends called her a homewrecker. Her pastor asked her to step down from church leadership. She and Marcus broke up 2 weeks later. He called me crying. Janelle, I've lost everything. My job, Vanessa, my relationship with my kids. Can we talk? Really talk. We met at a coffee shop, neutral ground. Marcus looked broken, 30 pounds lighter, eyes hollow. I was wrong, he said. About everything. Mama got in my head, told me I deserved better, that you were holding me back. I believed her because it was easier than doing the work. The work. Being a real husband. A real father. I got lazy and instead of fixing myself I blamed you. He wiped his eyes. Can you forgive me? I wanted to. Part of me still loved the man I'd married. But I loved my children more. No. The divorce took 8 months. Marcus fought for joint custody, presenting himself as a reformed man. He attended therapy, joined a men's support group and cut off Dorothy completely. She manipulated me, he testified. My mother made me believe my wife wasn't enough and I was weak enough to listen. Judge Williams wasn't moved. Mr. Richardson, you violated custody orders, exposed your children to your paramour during legal proceedings, and allowed your mother to psychologically harm them. Your rehabilitation is admirable but doesn't erase the trauma you've caused. Custody, 80-20 split in my favor. Marcus got supervised weekend visitation for 6 months, then reassessment. Child support, 42% of his new income. He'd found work as a warehouse manager, making half his previous salary. The house, mine. I'd put down the deposit with my inheritance from my grandmother. Marcus signed the deed over without contest. Dorothy wasn't in the courtroom for the final decree. She'd moved to another state to live with her sister, unable to face the community after everything became public. My children started therapy. Amara stopped having nightmares after 3 months. Caleb, resilient and young, bounced back faster, though he still asked sometimes why Daddy and Grandma had been mean to Mommy. I'd tell him the truth. Sometimes people make bad choices that hurt the people they love. But Mommy's keeping you safe now. 1 year after the Facebook Live incident, Marcus sent a letter. Not asking for anything, just apologizing. Acknowledging the colorism, the betrayal, the weakness. You deserved better, he wrote. Our children deserved better. I'm working on being better even if it's too late for us. I kept the letter. Not as forgiveness but as evidence that I'd been right to leave. 2 years later I still think about that Tuesday morning. How my entire life imploded because I accidentally left a TV streaming. How my children's innocence was stolen by adults who should have protected them. Amara is 7 now, thriving in therapy but forever changed. She asks questions 5-year-olds shouldn't have to ask. Do all daddies have girlfriends? Why did Grandma Dorothy hate you? Will you ever go away like she said? Each question breaks something in me that can't be repaired. Marcus has consistent visitation now, supervised periods that stretch to unsupervised. He's tried, really tried, to rebuild his relationship with our children. But Amara keeps him at arm's length. She remembers everything. Caleb, now 5, barely remembers the trauma. Sometimes I'm grateful for that mercy. Other times I wonder what buried memories will surface as he grows. I never remarried. Dating feels impossible when you've been betrayed so deeply. Friends tell me I'll heal, I'll trust again. But late at night I still hear Dorothy's voice. We're going to get rid of Mommy soon. The Facebook Live has 4 million views now. It's referenced in parental alienation cases nationwide. Women message me daily, sharing their stories, asking for advice. I've become an accidental advocate for something I never wanted to experience. Marcus sends child support on time, attends every school event he's allowed to. He's different, humbled, broken, rebuilt into someone resembling the man I married. But too much damage was done. Dorothy died last year. Heart attack. Marcus called, crying, asking if he could bring the children to the funeral. I said no. Some bridges once burned should stay ashes. Amara and Caleb are safe. That's what matters. But the cost of their safety was their innocence, their intact family, their grandmother's love. If you've experienced parental alienation or in-law abuse, please seek help. You're not alone. Share this story to spread awareness. Comment below with your own experiences. Together we can break the silence. This is my story. This is my truth. This is what it costs to protect my children from toxicity disguised as family. And I'd do it all again. Even knowing how much it would hurt. Even knowing some wounds never fully heal. Because I'm still their mother. And they're still here, safe in my arms. That's all that matters. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and share if this story resonated with you. Your support helps other mothers find the courage to protect their children. Drop a comment sharing how this impacted you. I read every single one.